The Irish are waking up in Pittsburgh this morning, getting ready for the first round of the NCAA tournament. Plus, if you plan to go to today's game or tomorrow's women's game, we have a warning from the Better Business Bureau before you buy your tickets. Good morning, Michigan, and welcome to ABC 57 News at 6. I'm Drew Gardner. Great to be with you here on this Thursday morning. My co-anchor, Emily Evans, is in Pittsburgh this morning. We're going to check in with her live coming up later in the broadcast. But we do want to start with a check of the weather. It is the last day of winter, but unfortunately, meteorologist Greg Bowe is here now to tell us about some of winter's effects that are just lingering around.
Yeah, a couple things hanging around we'll get to in the full forecast. Nothing too bad, but we're kind of getting a little last taste of winter in some ways. Take a look at what happens tonight and carries us into our first day of spring coming up in the full forecast in less than 10 minutes. Drew?
All right, Greg, sounds good. We'll see you then. Now let's check in with 95.3 MNC's John Zimney for a look at traffic. Good morning, John.
Hey, thank you, Drew. Good morning, everybody. We have a traffic alert to pass along to you right now. County Road 17 at 120 in Elkhart. This is the scene of a two-car crash. Just happened a few moments ago, and according to our caller to the radio station, no emergency vehicles are at the scene yet. So avoid the area. It's County Road 17 at 120. Be very confusing until police and emergency crews arrive. We have a brand new construction zone in South Bend today. This is a pretty large, stretch of street. Sample Street is what's going to be shut down. Eastbound lanes only. So westbound on Sample, you're good to go, but the eastbound lanes will be shut down a little bit later this morning from Lafayette to Main Street. This because of a water leak. There's a detour set up. It's Lafayette to Indiana Avenue. It's going to take you a little bit out of your way, add about 5 minutes to your drive if you use Sample Street near Lafayette and Main Street this morning. And again, that's just the eastbound lanes. From the 95.3 MNC Traffic Center, I'm John Zimney, ABC 57 News.
All right, John, thanks for that update. Police have identified the remains found in a car in the St. Joseph River this week. Police say the body belongs to the 23-year-old mother of two, Crystal Reyes. She and her boyfriend disappeared back in December. ABC 57 spoke with Reyes' mother yesterday, who says the family is now beginning to grieve.
Just yesterday, the baby was saying he wanted to go visit his mommy in heaven. They kept saying she's of age. She went away. It was normal for adults to pawn their kids off to family members.
Police say Reyes' injuries don't show any signs of foul play. They're continuing to investigate, though, how that Jeep ended up in the St. Joe River. They also say they're still looking for her boyfriend, Nick Sams. A family of a child who attends Concord Intermediate Schools says their daughter is the target of bullying. Nigeria Neely says she received 2 messages written on sticky notes. Parents say their daughter is also being called names with racial undertones.
Last week on Monday, I got my note, a first note, and it said, "Watch your back." And the principal called me down to his office and we talked, and he told me that I shouldn't worry because they're just words, but I felt like it was more than words. It was very offensive.
And there she's talking about a second note that attacked her race. Her mother believes administrators could have done more. We tried reaching out to that principal, who says they don't comment on internal matters. The family now wants to see the police get involved since one of those notes was written in a threatening manner. Notre Dame's Fighting Irish men's basketball team will wake up in Pittsburgh this morning ahead of their first-round NCAA tournament matchup against the Northeastern Huskies. And that is where we find my co-anchor, Emily Evans, live for us this morning. And Emily, everyone wants to know, is the Irish ready for today's game?
Well, Drew, coaches and players I talked to yesterday say they've watched plenty of game film, put in plenty of hours at practice, and today they say they have to play their game, and Northeastern is not a team that they can look past. The Huskies have earned the 14th seed in the Midwest region of the bracket, and they'll take on the 3rd-seeded Irish today at 12:15 in the Consol Energy Arena. Notre Dame head coach Mike Bray is familiar with Northeastern as the two played each other years ago, and because the Huskies didn't see the regular season success that the Irish saw, is no reason for Notre Dame to underestimate them, Bray says.
This is your typical mid-major team. I had a couple of them at Delaware, older guys that know how to play together and have won together for a while. And I told our guys it's like an ACC game. We have to prepare like it's an ACC game.
And that kind of preparation should be no problem and work for the Irish after they are coming off an ACC championship tournament win last week. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll hear from Notre Dame standout Pat Connaughton on the team's improvement on the defense this season. Reporting live at the Consol Energy Arena in Pittsburgh, Emily Evans, ABC 57 News.
All right, Emily, we'll see you then. Well, the Fighting Irish women's basketball team is also getting ready for first-round tournament play. The #1 seed Notre Dame team will play host to Montana tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 7:30 at Purcell Pavilion. That game will air on ESPN2. Now to a consumer alert. If you're thinking about getting a ticket to a women's or men's tournament game, the Better Business Bureau wants you to do a little research before you buy. ABC 57's Brandon Pope continues our coverage with how scammers are cashing in on the big tournament. Brandon, good morning.
Well, good morning, Drew. You know, March Madness is more than just a great time to fill out brackets. It's also a great time to catch some of these games live in arena so you can actually experience the action. But excuse me, that madness extends out to thieves as well, looking to get a quick buck off of your finances with these ticket scams. Now, the BBB is offering tips to make sure that the security of your purchase is more certain than the outcome of these games. For one, make sure you check out reliable sources. I did so for you with the Notre Dame women's games here in South Bend. The Notre Dame women's tickets are still available on the official site, but they're sold out on StubHub. So if you find them in other places like Craigslist, that's a red flag. To be sure that they are legit, the BBB says to check and see if the vendors are members of the National Association of Ticket Brokers. If they are, that means they are required to play by the rules and provide protection to you, the customer. And don't forget to look closely at the vendor's guarantee policies to make sure that if something goes wrong, you can get replacement tickets or a refund. Now, coming up in the next half hour, I'm going to share some more tips from the BBB on how to protect yourself from ticket scams. I'm live at Notre Dame this morning. Brandon Pope, ABC 57 News.
All right, Brandon, a lot of good information there this morning. And stay with ABC 57 News throughout the Irish men's and women's basketball teams' NCAA tournament play. You can always follow our coverage using the hashtag 57tourneytime. Well, when schools are faced with budget cuts, oftentimes the first courses on the chopping block are the fine arts. That's not the case at Dickinson Intermediate Fine Arts Academy, and that's where we find our Rosie Woods this morning with our cool school story. Rosie, good morning.
Good morning. That's right. So whether it be music, performing arts, or using 3D printers to create some pretty cool things for their classes, the students here at Dickinson are getting the opportunity to use the arts not only to be creative, but they're also using them to do better in their other classes. From the outside, the Dickinson's Fine Arts Academy in South Bend seems like an ordinary middle school. But students tell me at this school,
You could be yourself.
Because for all of these students, school is a time to tap into their creativity.
We have a 2-period arts block that meets every day, and one of these classes is a year-long fine arts class.
For 5th and 6th grade, that means performing in band, orchestra, or choir. And 7th and 8th graders also get to choose a visual arts class or a media tech class. That could be graphic arts, radio, or television classes. The lessons extend outside of learning how to paint, sculpt, or perform.
Well, being at Dickinson has really opened my mind to the fact that I can do much more than I think that I'm capable of.
Being in fine arts classes every day helps them see the beauty in everything they do.
I play sports and do art, and the fun thing about that is I can be in art learning graceful strokes with a paintbrush and then take part in track or soccer and learn how to run gracefully or kick a ball gracefully.
Making Dickinson's Fine Arts Academy a very cool school. Now, it's also important to mention that these kids come in early, they leave late, all in order to participate in these fine arts activities, as well as play sports. They do PE, and they have a full course load of the regular curriculum required in South Bend. So, you know, for 5th through 8th graders, that's pretty impressive, the amount of dedication they're putting into this. I'm live in South Bend this morning. Rosie Woods, ABC 57 News.
All right, Rosie, a cool school indeed. Thanks a lot. Time now 6:10. A fraternity in the national spotlight for a racist video that went viral is now trying to make things right. steps being taken to make sure this video never happens again. Plus, students on the University of Virginia's campus are outraged this morning after what they say is a brutal arrest. It's all caught on camera.
And good morning, everybody. Waking up right now in the 30s, 39 degrees, your current temperature in the neighborhood of Elkhart. We'll see where that takes us. We're talking 50s this afternoon, but a couple of hiccups in the forecast between now and tomorrow. We'll detail it all coming up next.